If you are anything like me, you've probably found yourself well in over your head on a project before. In the case of this, I picked up a 1980s Suzuki four-wheeler for dirt cheap. Now I made the mistake here of telling my wife all in this would cost $200 to get this thing running, riding, and to be enjoyable. I've already reached that budget limit, and I've done nothing to address it cosmetically, and I hate looking at it. These plastics are absolutely terrible. Admittedly, for 40 plus years old, they're not too bad, but we've got cracks, we have burns, we have tree sap. We've got to do something here. Now my goal today is not to follow pretty much all the other research I've done and use 30 different stages of compound or try to torch this thing carefully and then wipe it down or linseed oil. I don't know what the right thing to do is. I have no idea. Instead, let's use some household items, see what we can't make happen, and hopefully turn this thing from a 20-yarder to a 20-footer, and maybe something that I don't mind looking at. One thing I'm doing before we clean these up and get all this loose dirt and grime off of here is I'm taking photos of all the stickers that are on these plastics, because the ones here on the side, we're probably gonna have to remove those so we can get this thing to an even finish. And these are probably gonna get water damaged. They're super old, so might as well have that information banked so we can use it later. Let's go get these cleaned up now. I got both panels all washed up. The only thing I used was a little bit of all-purpose cleaner and a wash mitt to get any of the stuck on, dirt, grime off there. One thing I did notice and I need to address first is we have a pretty decent sized crack running along this back one, and it's on the structural side, so I don't want to go flex on this panel and actually make it worse, so let's fix that first. All right, so we have this pretty decent sized crack back here, and my concern is if we start to press on this and sand or scuff anything or even buff it, I might actually flex this too hard and spread this crack.
That's what she said.
So I got to thinking, why not just zip tie it? So what I'm gonna do here is I stole my wife's soldering iron or wood burning kit, whatever you wanna call it, and it has a little tiny bit in there that is actually flat, kind of like a zip tie is, so it'll look way better. And I'm going to just basically stitch this together, but first we need to outline it with Sharpie where we want those zip ties to go.
This is a warning before you fall in. I can be fatal, I can be risky when I'm calling. I know you think I'm so exciting, but you should know my undertow can be violent.
All right, we have most of our zip ties in, and I don't think it looks too terribly bad, and it should do the job just fine. You've got to understand this is a rescue, not a restoration. One weird spot here that I did leave bare for right now, but I did pre-burn in our holes, is actually from what I believe to be solar convergence. Now, that may be a term you're not familiar with, but I first learned about it whenever I had a brand new Tacoma, and 2 to 3 weeks into owning it, the front grille actually started to melt on that truck, and it looked absolutely terrible. I took it into the dealer, they replaced it, no problem at all, but they told me that if you park your vehicle near a window, particularly an office building, the sun will hit it in just a way to where it acts like whenever you used to use a magnifying glass to try to burn stuff as a child. Same concept, it just concentrates a lot of that solar energy into one spot on plastic and causes something that looks just like this. So if you have plastic that's nowhere near an exhaust, the tire's not rubbing, it may just be where you're parking it. I'm gonna go ahead and start off here with a Scotch-Brite, a little bit of water. I squirted some Dawn dish soap in here because if it's good enough for the ducks, it's good enough for us. And we'll start making little circles. The key here is gonna be to get as much of this just white oxidized plastic off as possible, but also not grind it in too hard where we're gonna create a whole bunch of lines that are difficult to buff out later. Now, I don't necessarily know if I'm supposed to go up and down, across, or just do circles, but circles feel better on my hands, so we're gonna go with that. All right, I'm not sure if it's gonna pick up on camera because it is a pretty flat finish now, but I've scuffed most of this, gotten as much of that kind of oxidized plastic top layer off as I can, and quite honestly, I mean, the color's starting to come through, so I'm pretty excited about that. What I'm gonna do next is use a little bit of plastic headlight polish, and the buffer, this can obviously be done by hand. I'm just a little lazy. So we're gonna try the buffer and see what we can't pull out as far as a shine, color. I don't know, but now it's all scratched up and we gotta fix that. I forgot how to turn this on.
I am a river. I am a river. And if you feel like drowning, I can pull you down. I can't stop, I can't stop, I can't stop.
Before we finish up the plastics, we have to do something about the rubber. Now, when it comes to cleaning these up, it might seem like a good idea to just douse them with tire shine, wipe them down, and send it. However, I think that's going to leave us with a super dark, oily finish, and it's going to be a dust magnet after the first couple rides. What I've done here is I've trimmed up all the edges with a razor blade, all the exhaust burn stuff, the stuff that has been rubbed by the tires, and I think they're going to look halfway decent. Now, the product I'm using is by Mothers. It's called VLR, vinyl, leather, rubber. Pretty self-explanatory, and we have zero affiliation with Mothers. In fact, while we're talking about it, if you could go ahead and give me a sub, give this video a like, leave a comment down below, that'll help the channel out, so maybe in the future we can get some cool people involved and get some free stuff, save me some money, yay. But anyways, enough pandering. I did find new bolts that seem to have the appropriate thread pitch, so this will look nice and clean, and the trick to this is you literally spray a little bit on, grab a brush, and just rub it in. Wipe it down. Big difference. These plastics are looking amazing. I am so happy with the results here. But there's one thing left to do. We've put in so much sweat equity getting this thing to shine again, and we've got to protect it. This is ceramic spray. Now what this does is you spray it on and you buff it right off, and this is going to put down a literal liquid layer of quartz, SiO2 silicon dioxide, and this is going to protect it from UV rays. It's going to repel dirt, dust, grime, and also protect it from water spots. So hopefully we can have this quad and these plastics lasting another 40 years down the road. Look, unlike other YouTubers, I'm just going to be upfront and honest with you. Evo One Industries is my company. I've spent years trying to get this product perfect, and unlike other companies with multi-million-dollar marketing campaigns who are just relabeling dyed bottles of water from China and don't give a damn about your hard-earned money, if you're not happy with it, I'll give you your money back. And unlike those big soulless corporations, Evo One Industries is a family business right here in the United States. My wife helps me package and fulfill orders every single morning, my best friend helps out with sales, and my dad's friend actually helped me design this logo and this label. Check out the link down below in the description to shop evo1industries.com, and if you've got any questions about products, hit me up on the chat. It goes right to my cell phone. I would love to talk to you and get you taken care of. These turned out awesome. I am so happy with the results, especially given the fact that we spent minimal effort, no money at all, and we're able to bring back the color and the shine to this quad. Hopefully it'll last another 40 years, and if you have any tips and tricks that I can use on the next build here on the channel, please let me know down below in the comments. I cannot wait to go get these on the quad and see what it all looks like together, and hopefully hear this thing run for the very first time in who knows how many years, but it's been a while. If y'all want to see that video, make sure that you've got those notifications turned on. I'm literally going to go route some fuel lines right now, throw some gas down it, and hopefully get it started. If not, we'll diagnose it. But seriously, thank you guys so much for tuning in and watching. I greatly appreciate your time, and I'll see you on that next video.